I was sitting in rooms like this, getting told that, yeah, failing is good, you should fail, you're gonna grow, you're gonna learn from your mistakes. And I used to think, well, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. Arrogant, I know. People much bigger, much more experienced than me were telling me that. I didn't believe it. Because I thought, they don't know what's at stake. Come on, I need to get into college. I need the perfect personal statement. I need the perfect grade. I need perfect extracurriculars. I was under this tremendous pressure to be perfect. A pressure I imposed myself. I was also imposed by my environment. And so I strived to do better. Always, always do better. Because it wasn't enough. No, I wasn't doing enough. But I think that's the problem. I was admired for this, for trying to be perfect, for being a perfectionist. Our society admires the perfectionists. We love the overachievers, the ones who have everything figured out, the ones who always get things done. We love them. And naively, I thought I could be one of these people without any consequences. That's stupid. You do not live a whole life without failing, a whole smooth sailing life without anything happening to you. And I think that maturing is truly realizing that a cycle of falling and getting up is much better than a smooth sailing life. And so, in preparation of this talk, I literally fell down the rabbit hole. I study medicine, and we love a thing called evidence-based medicine. We love it. Indexing database, PubMed, Cochrane Library, we love this. And so, I started looking. What happens to these perfectionists? What happens to the perfect smart kid in high school? What are the consequences? And what I saw left me completely shocked. Completely shocked. I remember reading the International Journal of Psychopharmacology for Adolescents and Children, and actually anxiety and depression was correlated with perfectionism, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Then I moved on to another journal, the International Journal for Eating Disorders, and you're telling me that perfectionism is correlated to anorexia and other eating disorders? That it's a predictor for it? What? I was, okay, we want to apply perfect image, we want a perfect body image, so we have an eating disorder. Makes sense. Alright, then the cherry on top was seeing in the International Journal of Clinical Psychology that perfectionism was associated with suicidal ideation. Now we're going too far. No, we need to stop and think about it. Like, okay, anxious, burnout, makes sense. Somehow wanting to have a perfect body, okay. But wanting to give up on your life? Oh God, we need to study this. And so I asked myself, why? Why do perfectionists fall into this trap? Why do they get these symptoms? What happens to them? And so, through reading, I noticed a pattern, a cycle. So, basically, when you're a perfectionist, and I consider myself one of them, or at least I used to be, you hold yourself to impossibly high standards. You want to be perfect, so you need to do everything perfectly. But that's just not humanly possible. That's just impossible, so you always fall short. You will never reach your higher expectations. And if you have a boss that is a perfectionist, you will never reach their high expectations either. But then what? Then what happens? Then you fall into a vicious cycle of self-hate, self-repression. Why was I not enough? I should have been enough. And then what? Then what sets in? Exhaustion, burnout. You can't do this anymore. You can't. You can't. Because every single day you're pressuring yourself, you're exhausted. And then you start to fear it. You start to fear this feeling you have when you fail. You start fearing failing. And then you start procrastinating on stuff. You tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do it. Not because you're lazy, because you're scared of failing. You're scared. No, you can't do this. You can't do this. And then what? What I want you to remember from all of this is that perfectionism is a trap. Trying to be perfect, gonna ruin your life. Been there, done that. It's gonna ruin your life. The people who succeed, and actually it's proven, that's crazy, the people who succeed have failed numerous times before. And we're all acclaiming them right now, as people have said before me. We're all acclaiming them. Wow, look at this person. They failed 10,000 times before. And, well, identifying that perfectionism is an issue is a good thing. I mean, knowing the problem is half the solution. But giving up on perfectionism is not easy. It's one of the hardest things you can do, and I'm talking from personal experience here. But basically, the problem with perfectionism is that you tie these achievements or the fact of being perfect to your self-esteem. So you have people from childhood who have never failed. They want to be perfect always, all the time. But then it gets more difficult. Then you have to fail at some point because it's impossible to be perfect. And then if you ask a perfectionist to actually consider that they're not perfect, it's not just difficult for them, it's existential, it's who they are. They ask themselves, who I am if I'm not this perfect person? I'm nothing. I'm nothing. And I want to finish by telling you what worked for me. Let's redefine what being perfect is. Being perfect is not getting into that great college or getting that great job or having this perfect assignment. Let's be perfect at being happy. Let's be perfect at putting ourselves first. Let's take the risk because it makes us happy. Come on. If you focus on things being perfect, you don't enjoy the stuff you do anymore. If you focus on always being good, then your life will just be dull because things can be good. So try always to do it for the plot, as they say. Try. Do what makes you happy. And don't try to be perfect for it. Because at the end, when you're old and gray, what you'll remember is going to be that funny story, I tried this, and then I failed, and then things happened, and you're going to remember the mess, the uncertainty, all of this. So embrace it, because it is a good thing in life. A life full of failure is a life well lived.